I'm back, I'm biased, I'm bothered, and I am always unfiltered. If you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. But you still haven't managed to worthy up? Not to worry, let's get into this mess. We are back with the Browns, and Robin's herpes are actually making a cameo. Now, when I'm saying herpes, okay, I'm not saying herpes, as in this, alright? Do you know, Jim Bob Duggar always reminds me of a Lego man, like the hair does. I love that look, by the way. Anyway, we're finding out that at spring break, Leon, Maddie, Logan, and Hunter are going to go on a trip to Utah, like to see the family. I noticed that, like, it's the older kids, but none of Christine's kids are going. Anyway, these kids are looking forward, like, to going back. So they're going to go hiking. They're going to see all their family and friends, like do all the things. So all these kids are packing up. Now they're going to be driving themselves. And Cody lets us know that he's worried that, like, seeing the original house in Lehi might be upsetting for the kids. But they have, like, family all along this route, okay? So they're going to be grand when they're driving. Now the kids, right? These poor kids, they're telling us that they still prefer Utah, but it is easier for them, like, to go back now. So we're in the car, like, with the kids traveling, okay? And now obviously there's a cameraman in here. I can tell because of the angle. How weird would that be? Like, just this cameraman, all these kids, like, shoved in the back of the car. Anyway, we're arriving at Granny Bonnie's house, and we meet Uncle Mark with a C. So I thought, that's not Mark then. That's now Mars. Anyway, Granny has a load of food ready for these kids. Now the kids reckon, okay, that Grannies always make the best cooks. This is controversial, okay? But I have to be honest, I'm actually the best cook of my whole family. It is what it is. Anyway, Uncle Nathan is here. Now, this is Mary's brother-in-law. Now, Uncle Nathan is married to Auntie Rebecca. It's Rebecca with a K, by the way, and that's Mary's sister. So now we're hearing from Uncle Adam, who's Mary's brother. Also, Janelle's ex-husband. You gotta keep up. It's a family reach. You gotta keep up. Anyway, Uncle Adam, like, he's saying that he's glad, like, that the family moved, like, to Las Vegas. I was wondering, right, is this weird for him, like, to be having this conversation, like, to be in this TLC show? Is it weird? Because, like, all Janelle's kids are there. I wonder, do him and Janelle ever talk, because we're not, like, nobody is saying that it is Janelle's ex. I love it though. I love it. Anyway, Leon says, right, that they're going to move back for college, and that they also want to be a doctor and, like, a sister wife, but they're going to miss Mary when they're off, like, married and having kids. None of that is going to happen. None of that. Find yourself, lads, okay? Before you ever get married, find yourself. Anyway, we find out, okay, that it's April Fool's Day, and Leon is after spending the night with Haley. I thought, what the hell were those two up to? Because Leon wouldn't answer the phone. So because it's April Fool's Day, the other kids are going to pull a prank. So they're going to say that Hunter went out drinking past curfew and got arrested. So when Leon comes home, Logan and Maddie are telling Leon, like, all about Hunter getting arrested. And Leon is absolutely and utterly pissed, right? Throws the bag on the floor, the phone and all comes out of the bag. And Leon is, like, stomping into their room, like, so angry. Can't believe that this is after happening. Now, I'll be honest with you, my reaction to this would have been the complete opposite. I'd have been feckin' delighted if my sister had got arrested when we were kids, okay? Because on Friday night in my house, every Friday night was movie night. We were allowed to get goodies. We very rarely were, so we were allowed to get sweets, okay? Now we had to take turns picking out a movie, so it was her turn to pick out a movie. I knew it was going to be crap, but I wanted the sweets. Anyway, the movie was crap, so I'm lying on my mom's lap. She's rubbing my head. Oh, it was lovely, right? I can feel myself, like, going into this fog, like, into this doze. And the next thing I know, right, I'm woken up, and there's a light, like, shining straight into my eyes, and my sister is above me with her hands on my shoulders, bouncing the living daylights out of me, okay? And she's staring at me, and she said to me, "You're in so much trouble. You fell asleep on movie night. You didn't wake up. You slept all through Saturday. You didn't wake up. You slept all through Sunday. You missed mass. You didn't wake up. You slept all through Monday. You missed school. You didn't wake up. And now it's Monday night. Mum and Dad are going to kill you." Oh my God, I didn't know. I was so disorientated, okay? I didn't know what the hell was going on. Oh, I jumped up. I legged it down the stairs. Right now, the house is in pitch blackness, sorry. I thought, oh my God, where the hell is everybody? I'm abandoned. I'm running through the house. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, right? Next of all, I hear my mother calling me. Now I hear my father calling me. I fly back up the stairs, okay? I leg it into my parents' bedroom. Like, these two are getting worried, like, wondering what the hell is wrong with this child. I'm explaining to my mother, like, what my sister is after saying. I'm telling her, like, how could you leave me? How could you just leave me lying in bed? How could you just abandon me like that, okay? My mother has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. And then I hear this laugh, right? And I turn around and there's my sister standing at my parents' bedroom door. And she's laughing, okay? And she has this maniacal grin on her face. And she said, ha ha, gotcha, April Fools. I couldn't believe it. The torment she put me through. So if she had been arrested when we were teenagers, I would have been feckin' ecstatic over that. But it didn't happen. Nothing good ever happened to me. Anyway, these two are cracking up laughing like at Leon's reaction. And Maddie is saying, like, she told Mary, okay, and now about their prank. And now Mary is pretending that the kids have to come home. So Leon is about to lose that goddamn mind, right? So the kids finally have to say April Fools, like it's only a joke. Now, from the sofa, Leon is saying that she's going to get like the kids back. It took me a while, but I did eventually get my sister back. Anyway, we're in Mary's house. Now, this is the first meeting of my sister wife's class. I thought, what the hell? We haven't heard about this. We did not hear about this, okay? We heard about a gym and we heard about Trainer Bill. That poor fucker. I hope he didn't leave his job. Anyway, it's Robin, okay? Because Robin says she always wanted this. She always wanted like a boutique. So this was her idea, but she's telling us. I always knew because like the others aren't this thick, but she's telling us, okay, this was her idea. Now, according to Robin, she went to a local jeweler with her sketchbook, and like he's the one that made the god awful looking gifts for the OGs, like for the Christmas present. So now he's gonna make all the jewelry. This is absolute and utter madness, okay? Keep your overheads low. Outsource that shit, preferably to China, This is brutal, but she's spending all of these people's money. Like they had the money to put into a gym, but now we're putting it into this, into my sister wife's closet. Oh my God. But anyway, hang on, listen to this, right? It's all hers, okay? And just SW. But in the notebook, it says what date. So, like, they don't even know, like, when the hell this is going to be launched. But there's another piece of writing on it, and, like, it says launch date. So, like, they've no idea. Like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Now, Janelle says, like, she's not into the hearts and that she thinks it's very trite. Like, that there's too much hearty stuff out there anyway. Now, Janelle is pointing to a doodle, right? And she says, like, that she wouldn't wear that. Like, oh my God, I'm 5. And Robin's face looks like a smacked arse. Now, Mary, of course, comes in because, like, Robin is never allowed to be upset. And she's saying, like, the SW could also stand for strong women and sister wife. Robin thinks it's fantastic. Cody, he thinks it's fantastic. I thought, oh my God, it takes so little for these people. But the OGs reckon, like, they kept working. They never took time off. They kept the kids. They kept the house and all that. So it does make them strong women. I agree with that. But don't be putting your life savings into it. Anyway, so we're meeting a guy called Brandon Adams. Now, that's the jeweler, right? Now, he's saying he doesn't give a shit, like, whether they're polygamist. Of course he doesn't. This guy is delighted. You know how much money he's going to make, like, out of these people? So, Robin says that my sister wife's closet means, like, that your wardrobe is expanded with your sister wives. I thought, this is ludicrous. This is absolutely and utterly ludicrous. Oh, but hang on. So Brandon Adams wants to know, right, if it's just polygamous women that are different because usually women don't like sharing. And Robin says if they can share Cody, they can share anything. And I thought, like what, Robin? Like the feckin' herpes. So apparently, now this is where this gets interesting. Cody reckons that he loves the idea of my sister wife's closet, okay? Because they're all involved the way they were in the gym. But unlike the gym, it's a lower startup. Now that's probably true, right? But at least with the gym, like when it goes tits up, you would at least have gym gear to sell. But Janelle says, right, that she's hoping this will fund the other businesses that are interested in. What other businesses is she talking about? So I believe, right, that they knew that the startup for the gym was going to be expensive, but somehow they convinced Janelle to put the family money into this ridiculous idea, okay? But she's saying that she wants to be able to fund the other family business with the funds from this, which we know will never happen. But Janelle is so smart, right? What the hell were they telling Janelle? Like, what were they saying to this woman? do you know what I mean? She would have never done this. She wanted a gym, not fucking jewelry. None of these women are interested in this crap. Do you know what I mean? I would love to know what was going on behind the scenes here, because Cody was obviously in her ear, because he knew, like Robin has just told us, like this was her dream to make this shy. Do you know what I mean? So I'd love to know what he was saying to get Janelle on board, that she would invest so much money in this shite, because it was all Robin's idea. She took all of these people's money to make this crap with, you know. Anyway, I have to take a moment to talk about Mary's hair. What the fuck are we doing? And why are we doing this? Oh my god, how did she get it that big? I've no fucking idea. I've no idea. It's awful, but I will say it's not the worst we've seen her hair. Oh, all downhill from there. Anyway, now, because like the older kids are in Utah, the adults are going to take the small kids to go miniature golfing. Boring. I don't know how this is a sport, okay? I really don't. Like, who thought it would be a good idea to just like dig holes in the ground, like, and throw balls in them? I don't understand it, I don't. Anyway, they're going to split into teams, so it's going to be an adult and a few kids. Now, we find out that Christine cheats, like, when she's playing games, and she has a bit of a reputation for it, even with her father. So when like her father like is doing games or whatever and they start cheating, the dad is just like, right, we're done, we're done. So anyway, they're trying to add up the score, right? But they're all coming up with different numbers. And according to Cody, Christine did win without cheating. Now Janelle says no, she was definitely cheating. But I've seen this family trying to do maths, so we're never gonna know. We're never gonna know. But I'd be honest with you, I didn't even know that you had to add anything up. I've no idea how golf works. Anyway, so we're back in Utah, and the kids are going like for a hike and for a picnic. And Maddie says that their father always says to them that he wants them to choose their own religion. I love that, okay, because I know that they were very religious. Like the Durr kids never had a choice in anything, But I love that, they were at least given a choice in things. So we're at the picnic, okay. Now Hunter thinks it's so stupid because it's so cold, and this kid is pissed off. Now look, the kids are all moaning to Logan, okay? Now we started off saying that the weather was 40 degrees, and now like we're saying it's 30 degrees. Now Logan just wants to sit down, shut up, and eat the food and enjoy it. He's a great father, he really is. I've heard this like loads of times in my life, but Hunter is still complaining. And Logan is telling him to man the fuck up, right? Now Leon is completely shocked by this language. Now from the sofa, Janelle says he's a good kid, but he's experimenting with language, but she's just going to ignore it because he mostly does it when he's maxed out with Hunter. That's his son, right? Now, Christine, oh, for God's sake, right? Christine is not a bit impressed and thinks that Logan needs to be a better example and inspire his brothers. I thought, Christine, he's raising his feckin' brothers, My God, if he courses it's grand, he could be up to all kinds of malarkey, Calm the fuck down. The youngfella is grand. Anyway, so we're going to see the Lehi house and we find out that Rebecca lives there. I thought, I hope she's fucking paying rent because the family needs it. Now, as soon as they walk in, Hunter says they made it look a lot nicer than we did. And I thought, yes, they did. But at the same time, okay, like in the original family in the Lehi house, there was 17 kids there. Or sorry, 17 family members, but the majority of the 17 were kids, ranging from a newborn to teenager. So, of course, like the place is going to be wrecked. Anyway, oh, this is sad, right? Because the kids say that they did think that they were going to move like back home, like after a little while. Oh, they're not. You're never going to move back. Anyway, from the sofa, Mary says that it was the Lehi house that brought them all together, and that living in Vegas is very hard because they do need to be closer. But of course, like it's harder for Cody than it is for anybody else. And I thought, well, he shouldn't have fucking moved there then. But anyway, I do have to say, right, in the Lehi house, they had a great setup. Like they really did. Because like all the kids were all together, but like kind of in their own separate place, so not all on top of each other. It really was like a great setup. Now Cody is being all introspective and he's saying that living in Lehi was the best experience of living plural life. I thought you fucked up so bad, dude. You banjaxed the whole thing, you really did. Anyway, now the kids are getting upset. So of course I'm getting upset at these kids getting upset at something that happened like a decade ago. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, but they're hoping that they will get the houses in the cul-de-sac so that they can replicate what they had. Oh, and thankfully we know that that is going to happen very soon. I always like to end on a good note. Anyway, that is our recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.